Welcome in, guys. Very, very exciting interview today. Jet and I, we just shot it. Can't wait to show you guys. We're not going to say too much, but it is with Chelsea. Sports.tarot on Instagram, on TikTok. And essentially, she has been on a heater lately. And that's how I came across her on TikTok, reached out, said, hey, we would love to have you on the pod and have a conversation. She's doing 3-card polls to predict sport games. And in her last 12, she is 10-2. So it is, Jet, would you agree? It's one of our better interviews we've done on the podcast.
Yeah, she might be front runner for guest of the year.
I will say she's the early favorite in the clubhouse for BBL guest of the year for our second award show that we'll do next summer. But yeah, Jet, anything you want to say to the listeners to kind of get their minds right before we get into the interview?
Take a couple deep breaths, clear your mind.
And with that, Chelsea. All right, welcome in. I'm so excited. Very special interview today. This is our first of what will be many in the BBL Sports guest series this fall. We haven't had a guest on in a really long time. Chelsea joins us today. And Chelsea, I'm going to let you introduce yourself. Who are you? What is your TikTok page about? And I'll just let everybody know that I came across Chelsea on TikTok and immediately said, you've got to come on the podcast and talk about this. So why don't you just quickly introduce yourself to everybody?
Well, sure. Well, thank you so much for having me on. I'm so honored to be the first guest, and this is my first podcast ever, so we're all new to this. But so my name's Chelsea. You can find me on TikTok at sports.tarot. And basically, I am connecting the tarot spiritual world and sports prediction together. I love sports. I love kind of the esoteric metaphysical realm. And I love being kind of ridiculous and entertaining. And it's really a great kind of marriage of all of those things. And I'm having so much fun and predicting insanely correctly. So I'm loving it. I can't wait to see what else happens.
So, okay, I want to go to that last point that you just made and let everybody know how I came across you. I saw one of your predictions come across my feed on Tigers Guardians, game 1 of the wild card series. And you predicted accurately the Tigers to win. So I kind of pinned that post and I was like, I'm going to come back to this. And sure enough, the Tigers win. Then you get game 2 right. Then you get game 3 right. Then you get game 1 and 2 of the divisional series right. And I go back, I start looking at your page, and I'm like, hold on a second. This win percentage is really high as of late. And so, question for you. Have you tracked the win percentage, or is that something that you're going to start doing, is track your win percentage? Because you're on a heater right now.
I know. I think I am going to track it. I don't know exactly how many predictions I made. Probably about a dozen, 10 or 12 right now, and I think I've gotten 2 wrong. One was my first prediction ever, the Tariq Hill game. I mean, I didn't see that coming. And the second was Cubs, Padres. I don't remember. I was way off. I was like, this is all Cubs, and they got just crushed. So, but other than that, I've gotten every single one right. And I am even shocked by that. But that's kind of the beauty of tarot and sports, is like, you don't know what's going to happen. And so you kind of create a story, and sometimes that story comes true. And then it makes it even more exciting, I think, in my mind.
This is a lot of our listeners' sports bet. So I think there's going to be a lot of interest here. A 10-2 record is phenomenal. Like, Jet, would you agree? Would you take 10-2
record? Yeah, that's really good.
I think a lot of it is that I don't base on stats or records or any of that a lot of other, like, the real hardcore sports analysts look at. Because sports, you can't predict so much of it. And so I think that's part of it, is like, sometimes it's just, vibes. And apparently I'm tapped into some sort of vibe, the ESPN, ESP, I guess. I don't know.
ESPN, ESP, that's a great name.
I love it. I love it. So, Chelsea, before we get in and have a conversation around the cards and what you've been doing and what you're going to continue to do on your TikTok page, curious, I know you're from Michigan. The majority of our listeners are from the state of Michigan as well, and big Detroit sport fans and Michigan or Michigan State fans. Who are your teams? What are the teams that you're rooting for in all of the major sports as well as college?
Well, so yes, I was born and raised in Monroe, Michigan, downriver, rise up. And my first job was as a golf caddy. So I caddied at Groseal Country Club outside Detroit. So my sports, and I went to Michigan on a basically a full ride, the Evans Scholarship, which is a
Go
scholarship
blue.
for golf caddies. Yes, go blue. So obviously Michigan Wolverines, my number one all time. The world stops when they play. I had to reschedule my daughter's first birthday party because it was on a Michigan game. Um, that's
I love
my
that.
yeah, that's my main team, my family. My brother also went to Michigan on the Evans Scholarship, so that's my number one, obviously. I live in the Chicago area now, so I love to wear my Red Wing stuff and just piss all the Blackhawks people off. I've fallen off a little bit on the Red Wings. I mean, I grew up in the Yzerman era, the Fedorov era. Like, that was huge to me. Pistons, obviously. One of my going out outfit when I first moved to Chicago in 2009 was a Rasheed Wallace jersey. And I mean, that thing, the amount of conversations that thing would spark, and Ball Don't Lie, and just like, so I've always been anything Detroit. Now that I've been in Chicago almost 20 years, which I know I don't look that old, how's that possible? But the Cubs, obviously, love the Cubs, love to go to Wrigley. My second date with my husband was at the bleachers in Wrigley, where we had way too
It's a
many
great
beers.
date.
Yeah, yeah, way. Got to know each other. Oh, after 6 beers, you talk about everything. Um, and so love the Cubs. Obviously, the Lions. Just got my Gibbs new zero jersey.
There we go.
And part of what I love about them, I'm a TikTok girly, obviously. And I love that it's like Gibbs, Amon Ra, like they stay on TikTok and with their girlfriends making like cute dances and being ridiculous. And I love that side of sports. I think a lot of my followers are women, and that's what we connect to. We want to see the person, the human, the story behind it. It makes us connect with it a lot more, I think, at least for me.
Yeah, I think the Lions have the best touchdown celebrations in the league, and
Oh
about
yeah.
85% of them come from TikTok. So
Yes.
I love that part. Yeah, Gibbs, Amon Ra, JMO, when they get in the end zone, it's gonna be something great. It usually
Yes.
comes from TikTok. So
Yeah.
Jet, throw it over to you real quick. You got a question for Chelsea?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna let her explain the craft a little bit more of tarot card reading so that I could better understand. Because if I'm shooting off the hip right now with questions, I don't want to sound ignorant because I do have some questions, but I want to know if they're in realm.
Okay. Okay.
Fair. Perfect. So yeah,
So,
why don't you give us the full rundown?
got it. Well, the best thing about tarot, there's no instructions. There's no science. It's every card deck is different. I think I have maybe it's on there. I have what's called the Akashic Tarot deck. So it's a lot of like mystical, fantastical things. There's the traditional tarot deck has like the Hanged Man and the Tower, and it's like kind of serious. And these were very colorful and whatever. I've had this deck for about 10 years, so I know it well. I know the cards. I've used it in my own life. I remember asking it years ago, like, am I ever going to be a mom? And it basically told me yes. And it wasn't for years later, but I've used it in my own life, so I'm super comfortable with it. The whole thing about tarot is let your own mind go blank. Let whatever that card is showing you come out of your mouth, which is the biggest reason I'm only showing my hands in my video, because if I had to show my face, I don't think I would say that what I'm saying. Because I kind of just, before I pull the cards, I take a couple breaths. I don't go in trying to predict anything. I've had a couple pulls where I've said in the video, like, I have no idea. These cards are telling me nothing. I'm making a guess here. So it's really all about telling a story, seeing what jumps out at you today. Some days there's colors in the cards that jump out at me. Some days it's I see there's fire or there's water. Um, and I also, marrying it with sports, I look up each team beforehand, maybe some star players. Today I pulled the divine physician who looks like Jesus, aka Dansby. So there's a lot of like you just kind of let your mind run wild and connect whatever dots connect, even if it seems like it's so far-fetched, so ridiculous, so illogical. Sometimes it ends up happening.
How long have you been doing this?
I've been into kind of meditation and spirituality and all of that. Oh, I don't know, probably almost 20 years. I mean, I've had at least one, it's probably a longer story. I've had at least one prophetic dream that ended up coming true, basically saved my life. I had a dream that I needed to go to the hospital to get my appendix taken out, and I actually did. It's a
No
whole,
way.
and it was when I lived
Wow.
alone, so nobody, I had to drive myself to the hospital. It was a whole thing. So I think I'm somehow tapped into something. Any astrology heads out there, I am a double Pisces. I'm a Pisces sun and moon. And Pisces can be known for being delusional, but we're also known for being, we're the last sign of the zodiac. We're a combination of everybody. We're so tapped into kind of everything that's going on. So that I think helps me too, that my whole life I've been kind of on the edges a little bit, and I'm open to things that maybe other people would say like that's ridiculous. I'm like, is it though? Maybe we could, maybe who knows? So yeah, that's a big key of it, is just being open to
Mhm.
what might happen.
Definitely.
I do have a quick question. Uh, what do you know about neural pathways?
I know they can be rewired, that's for sure. I know that yeah, our brain is very plastic, neuroplasticity. There's no such thing as not teaching an old dog new tricks. There's the pathways can get some grooves in them, obviously, if you're thinking the same thoughts years after years. But you can change that for sure. And I'm a believer. I don't, not like super the secret and law of attraction, but I do believe that what you think and the intentions and kind of goals you put out there and what you visualize, I think that can give you a huge advantage in shaping your reality and maybe your whole world, maybe your team winning. Who knows?
For sure.
We might have to do a crossover episode, Adam.
Yeah, I wanted to give some context here. So he actually won BBL Guest of the Year last year, and his name's Scott Constable, and he's a must follow on TikTok.
I
And
keep seeing that
he,
name tagged, yes.
yeah, you might have come across his videos, but yeah, so his claim is that he's got a system for creating new neural pathways, and he's trying to get Dan Campbell's attention, because he
Oh,
believes within 5 minutes, he can get to work on Dan Campbell and the rest of the Lions, to pretty much will them to a Super Bowl victory. And so we
wow.
had him on the podcast. We're trying to push the message out there. Like, if we can get the Lions a Super Bowl, oh my gosh, let's do it. So
Yeah.
that's the context there with that neural pathway. And he's been on the podcast a few times to push that message. So
Yes. Yeah, and there's something else called SATS, state akin to sleep, where if you visualize things right before you fall asleep, it's almost like your brain isn't sure, like, is this happening? Am I dreaming? So before you go to sleep, try your best to like see it through your eyes. Like see yourself on your couch watching the Super Bowl. There's Bad Bunny, there's Amon-Ra St. Brown, like, and go to sleep in that like feeling of like, yes, I'm so happy, because that's how you really shift reality. I'm saying all this like I'm this like master
that's,
of
I
the
mean,
universe, but in my
I believe
I'm
it.
loving
experience, in
this.
my
Yeah.
experience, that's what I've found.
I'm loving this. So you actually just answered what was going to be one of my next questions, which was, and so if you have anything else to add on top of that, please do. But I was going to say, for anyone listening right now, what tips and tricks could you share, things that have worked in your life, whether it's visualizing or, how to connect, and to better your everyday life. Any tips or tricks for our listeners?
It all comes down to breathing, honestly. That's honestly something I learned when I was a caddy. Um, One thing, there's three rules of caddying, which is show up, keep up, and shut up. And so you have to learn to even breathe quietly. You've got to do everything quietly when you're a caddy and stay very focused, super present. You got to watch everybody's ball, not just your player. So I think coming back to your breath, having your breath as that anchor is so key. Because when we get stressed, we hold our breath. And when we're relaxed, we breathe easy, we sigh, we laugh. So the first thing I would do is just breathe in and meditate. That goes along with breathing, where you just sit, silence, and just listen to your breath going in and out. Count them if you have to. We're on our phones constantly, information, everything, chaos. Like just clearing that space for just a couple minutes can be huge in your overall well-being, I think.
I love that. I think our listeners will as well. Jet, before we move
Breathe.
on, and we're going to get to, I think we're finishing here with an exciting live card pull. Any other questions? It sounded like you had a few.
Yes. How long does this card reading take? Because I was looking to ask the cards a couple questions.
Oh, it's very fast. I've mentioned a couple of my videos. So I work full time. I'm a mom. Like I don't have a lot of time to do hobbies or anything. So when my husband leaves to take my daughter to preschool in the morning, I set up my little station with my little Tykes baseball and my gems. I take a couple deep breaths. I shuffle the cards a few times. I hit play. I go. I do it in one take. I don't edit it. I don't think about what I'm saying. All of them come out to about 2 minutes, but the key is like don't think about it. Just press play, go, post it. That's it. The more you think about it, probably the less accurate it's going to be.
I love that.
Are you
The
asking for
rest of
your
my
own live
questions,
poll
Yeah.
yeah,
right now,
the
Jet?
rest of my questions are all
Is
about
there something
me,
in your life you
myself,
need
and
guidance on?
yes, there's so much. So I'll let you. We can go to the Tigers, and then we can get to me later.
Okay. So we'll do a one card. I mean, we can, I have time if you need time this evening. We can do a one-on-one. Um, I'm just gonna do a one card pull. Three card pulls are
Okay.
what I like to do day of the game. That gives me a full picture. I just want to see what's kind of percolating in the universe right now for the Tigers. So we're gonna shuffle a little bit. I have Rizzo, my dog, my sidekick down here. So I'm just gonna
Love
kind
that
of
name.
random. Of course, Anthony Rizzo left immediately after we got her. All right. Up in the air.
Oh,
Blue sky. Orange stripes on the balloon. This couple, they're looking so happy. He has his hand on her belly, almost like she's pregnant, almost like there's so much coming for us, so much exciting, our bundle of joy. We've got so much to look forward to. We're over a field, kind of like a baseball field. We got an orange card. I mean, this I'm gonna go to sleep feeling pretty good tonight because this is reassuring, I think.
it's an orange
What
out
are your
tomorrow.
thoughts? Or and blue, the
It
little
is an orange
basket.
out in Comerica Park. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, the cards have spoken, as I always say. I mean, yeah, we'll see if that card
My
comes up in the card pull tomorrow.
We're
I
going to
don't
be
even know.
feeling good.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this might have some tie, it might not, but my parents flew up from Florida. They live in Florida, and they will be at the Orange Out tomorrow to celebrate their 32nd wedding anniversary. And I just noticed a couple there
And they
on the field
flew, didn't
watching.
they? Didn't they
are
And
your
they
fly
parents
up in the
flew.
air?
expecting?
See, now that's where I need to call my mom after
Is
this
there a
and be like,
sibling on the
hold on a
way?
sec.
Yeah,
Hold on a quick second. But
Your parents, they're
wow, that
pregnant with
makes,
joy, with emotion, with
yes,
excitement.
right.
Yes,
yes.
for a
I think
Tigers fan. Yeah.
maybe a puppy on the way, maybe that another puppy in their future. But that is very reassuring for me to hear
Yes.
as a Tigers fan.
And I
And
haven't
again,
pulled that
guys,
card hasn't showed up in any other reading I've done yet. So that's huge.
Wow.
Huge. Huge. Yeah.
that's fantastic. And I want to throw this out: you are 5-0 on making these calls. Now, this isn't the full prediction that comes tomorrow. And
Right.
again, make sure you guys are following Chelsea
I
on
was gonna say
TikTok
to
because she'll
tune
post.
in, you got to follow
Yeah.
Yeah,
Chelsea.
Yes, sports.tarot, and tarot is spelled Tarot, because I know a lot of you probably don't know that. But yes, it says football tarot right now, but we will be changing that because, yeah, all the sports. I mean, golf, everybody needs to know what the universe has to say, I think.
Certainly. Now, I do. I have one request, and I know Joey. We don't want to keep you. We're getting late here, and I know Joey might have a request, but I do have a viewer submitted question
Ooh, I
that was
love it.
requesting a card pull. So the first question is: are
Yes.
you able to do a card pull for a viewer that's not here?
Sure, sure, sure.
Okay.
I can do that.
So this is a viewer, Rebelette Ty.
Take a
He
couple
is
breaths. Yeah, okay.
yeah, he has been a guest on our podcast plenty. He listens every week, and I put out a message to our listeners, just hey, do you guys have any questions, anything that you want me to bring up? And Ty just wouldn't drop. He wanted to know if we could possibly do a live card pull to determine whether or not he will find real love.
Oh, wow. I love this question.
He
I
stole
love
my
this
question.
question. Now the cards, they don't really like yes or no, just like straight up yes or no. But so I can give you a bit of a flavor though. Okay, so let's see. I'm just gonna
Sorry,
just
Joey. We do
pick
too.
something random here. Reflection. I don't know
Wow.
why. The first thing that came to my mind is in Tommy Boy when they're in the boat together and it's like very cute and sweet. That's the first thing that came to my mind. I see. Not only do I think he's going to find love, it's going to really make him feel at home and at peace and like he's really settled and he's really calm and that everything's going to be okay. There's light in the dark. You're not alone. Oh shit, we're getting deep here. Wow. All
I
Wow.
right.
love this.
Yeah, yeah, no, this
That's a big
he's not
pull.
alone. He's not alone in that boat. No. No,
Mm-mm.
it might look dark now, but
There's
no, he's
light.
not. No, that love is coming for sure, and it's gonna feel like peace, like calm, like comfort. Oh yes, I love it. I love it.
Wow.
That's
Thank
big
you for.
news
Oh,
for
I
Ty.
love that. Thank you for asking me to do that. I love that. Lovely
Thank you for
vibe
doing
to
that. And
end
Joey,
on
I'm sorry.
there.
I might have just stole your thunder on that, Jed. I'm sorry.
I was gonna ask the same exact question. I don't even know if it works back to back like that. I can
Do I?
mix it
I
up.
guess I have to come on again. I mean, if I keep
Yeah,
calling right,
we'll get you
who
back
knows? We
on.
might be we might be talking for weeks. Fingers crossed. Knock on wood.
I have one
Absolutely.
other
If the Tigers
question.
continue to go on this run, you will be back on. I promise that. So
Yeah.
Joey, go ahead
Hopefully.
and ask one last question of the night.
Last question. This is going to be tough from the card pull perspective, but we'll see what they say and what you say. Will Patrick
Okay.
Mahomes have 25 rushing yards tonight against the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Let's see.
I
I
love
don't.
this.
I don't have any cars that look like Muppets. He always reminds me of a Muppet, his voice. So we're gonna see here what we've got. Up in the air again. Oh
Wow.
boy. But the thing is, when I pulled it this time, I got that up in the air feeling in my stomach. That like, I don't know feeling. I think really, I'm seeing no. I see up in the air like he's throwing shit to the
He's
side,
throwing.
maybe like
Wow,
picks.
yeah. He's
If
throwing the ball. He's
anything,
airmailing it.
yes, I got a gut bad feeling. When I pulled it for the Tigers, I was immediately happy, and that first time I was like, it's up in the air in a bad way. Yeah, it's
That's
hard to say
that's great
no.
news. Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
All
you're
right,
so
so we're
welcome.
gonna find out about two of these polls tomorrow. And again, the Tigers one is just we're getting the preview energy. It doesn't mean anything till we get the 3 card poll tomorrow. We're gonna
Yeah,
find out Patrick Mahomes tonight, and we might have to wait 20 years to find out about Ty, but it's coming. It's coming for
yeah.
Ty,
I
and
can't
he's
wait
gonna
for
be
that
very
update.
happy.
And I've got the
You,
Cubs winning
You might get
tonight,
a wedding
so we'll see.
invite.
I was gonna say you might have to get an invite to the
Yes.
wedding, yeah, with the
Oh,
plus
I love a
one, the
wedding.
whole 9 yards. So,
Oh, I can't
um,
wait.
Chelsea, seriously, can't thank you enough for coming on. This was a ton of fun. This was great.
Oh,
And
thank you.
like I said, we need to get you back on, especially if the Tigers continue to win here. We'll get you back on, and we'd love to have you. You have an open invite. You let us know when you want to come back on, and we'll have you, and we'll certainly be reaching out to you. Before we hop off, just one more time. I know you've said it a couple times, but give people your TikTok handle, and then I'm also going to put it up at the bottom of the screen here so everyone knows where to follow you.
Cool. Well, yes. Well, thank you so much for having me. This was very fun, and I will be back anytime you want me. And I am on TikTok at sports.tarot. and also Instagram as well.
Fantastic. We'll put that up on the
Yeah.
screen so you guys have a link to it. And thank you so much. Go Tigers. And Ty,
Yes.
we hope you find your love that you're looking for. Everybody
Yes.
have a great rest of their days.
All right, bye. Good vibes.